Chosen one, I need you to hear this today because it's time to step into a new level of understanding about your life and what God has in store for you. You were not put on this earth just to survive, just to get by. No, God has called you to thrive. He has not destined you to live a life of scarcity, lack, or struggle. His plan for you is far grander, far more magnificent than anything you've ever imagined. Today, I want you to believe something profound. God's plan for you is to walk in abundance. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't luck. This is a divine promise that has been made to you by the Creator Himself. A promise that from this very moment forward, your life will be marked by wealth and prosperity. This is not a one-time blessing or a fleeting moment of financial gain. This is a lasting, transformative prosperity that flows from the throne of God. Understand this. From this moment on, it's not just your dream, but it becomes God's duty to ensure your success. His plans for your life go beyond any struggles or hardships you may have encountered in the past. God has a destiny for you, and that destiny involves living a life of overwhelming wealth. Wealth that goes beyond material things, wealth that impacts every area of your existence. You are chosen to walk in a prosperity that defies all odds. This is not a prosperity built on your own efforts, but one that is divinely orchestrated, sustained by the grace of God Himself. You are meant to experience wealth that overflows, not just enough to get by, but more than enough. This wealth is the platform that God will use to empower you to fulfill your divine purpose here on earth. Your life is not just meant to be filled with financial blessings, but also with peace, joy, and fulfillment in every area. As you step into this abundance, you will see that it's not about material wealth alone. It's about living the life God intended for you, a life where everything aligns perfectly with His purpose. The divine wealth He is releasing into your life is not for your benefit alone. It is to enable you to make a lasting impact on the world, to help others, to uplift those around you, and to spread His love in profound ways. So, I want you to hear this clearly today. You are not just meant to survive. You are meant to live in abundance, to walk in prosperity, and to experience a divine overflow in every area of your life. Your wealth is a testimony to God's goodness and faithfulness. You were created for greatness, and the moment you align with God's purpose, you will see His promises manifest in ways you never thought possible. Get ready, because a season of divine prosperity is upon you, and it's time to embrace it fully. Your life is about to change in ways you can't even imagine. I want you to hear this with absolute clarity today. Do not doubt for even a single moment that God will provide for you. The Creator of the entire universe, the one who spoke light into existence with just a word, has made a divine promise to you. The God who formed the stars and set the planets in motion, the God who raised the dead and parted seas, has promised you that He will provide. And I want you to know something powerful. His promises are always yes and amen. This is not a mere statement. This is a foundation for your life. God is not like man who can lie or change his mind. When He speaks, it is truth, and it is eternal. When He declares that your life is meant for abundance, you can take that to the bank. His word is firm, unwavering, and it cannot fail. He has spoken over your life, and His word will not return void. Every time you begin to question if God will come through for you, remember, His word is sure. When He says your life is meant to be filled with abundance, He means it. Trust His promises, trust His timing, and rest in the knowledge that He has already paved the way for your prosperity. But let me be clear, chosen one, God's vision for your prosperity is not just about money. It's not merely about material wealth, though that is certainly a part of it. God desires for your entire being to prosper, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. This divine wealth He has in store for you is holistic. It's about more than just a number in your bank account. It's about the peace that reigns in your heart, the vitality that flows through your spirit, and the joy that fills your relationships. You are meant to experience true prosperity in every area of your life. Imagine walking in a state of spiritual fulfillment, knowing that you are aligned with God's purpose, feeling His presence guiding you every day. Picture your emotions flowing with peace, free from anxiety, worry, or doubt, and instead being filled with divine joy, contentment, and love. Physically, this wealth includes vitality, energy, and health to live out your divine purpose in full strength. God does not want you to struggle in any area of your life. He desires for you to thrive in body, mind, and spirit. This is the fullness of the divine wealth that He is releasing into your life. It's not a one-dimensional blessing. It's an all-encompassing prosperity that will touch every part of your being. Get ready to experience this fullness in ways you never thought possible. There is a common misconception that financial success is only for the select few, for the ones who have somehow earned it through extraordinary effort or who are somehow specially favored by the world. But let me set the record straight today. This is not the truth. I want you to understand something so profound. The wealth that is about to manifest in your life is not just a random stroke of luck, nor is it by chance. This is not some fleeting or temporary blessing that will come and go. No, this wealth is a divine promise from God Himself. It is a promise that has been written into the very fabric of your life. Understand this truth. God does not bless you just to bless you in passing. He blesses you so that you can be a vessel for His purpose. This wealth is not for selfish gain, but for a divine purpose that aligns with His will for your life. It is a blessing that will overflow, affecting every area of your life and bringing glory to God's name. You will walk in the fullness of God's provision every single day, and His wealth will sustain you, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and physically. This is not a momentary blessing, it is a permanent transformation. God is aligning you with His abundance in such a way that you will never again need to struggle, to want, or to live in lack. Your life is now being transformed by the power of His promise. You are destined for wealth, prosperity, and an ongoing flow of divine abundance. Step into this promise with faith, knowing that this is just the beginning of a life that is richer than you could have ever imagined. This is God's will for you: abundance, overflow, and prosperity forever. I know that many of you struggle with the idea of being worthy of such abundance. You may look at others who seem to have it all and wonder if you're truly deserving of this level of blessing. But hear me loud and clear. You are worthy. The fact that you are here listening to this message is no accident. It's not by chance that you stumbled upon these words. It is divine confirmation that God has chosen you for greatness, and He has already equipped you for this very moment. The wealth that is about to come into your life is not a random gift or a stroke of luck. No, it's designed specifically for you, to enable you to walk in your divine calling. The blessings that God is pouring out are not just for you to enjoy for your own personal gain. They are a means to help you fulfill your greater purpose. God's purpose for you is to be a blessing to others. The wealth He is sending your way is a tool, a resource for you to create lasting impact in the lives of others, to build ministries, to create solutions that will touch and change the world. You are being positioned to help, to support, and to serve in ways you never thought possible. This wealth is not about collecting things for yourself. It's about being a vessel of divine blessing to fulfill your assignment on earth. God has a plan for you, a purpose that is so much greater than any material possession, and He is using this wealth to equip you to make a real difference in this world. You were born for this moment. You are worthy of every single blessing that is about to pour into your life. But now, I need you to take a moment and do something powerful. Shift your mindset. It's time to stop seeing yourself as someone who is struggling, someone who is just scraping by. You are not just surviving. You are a child of the King, And that means you were created for abundance. You were never meant to live in lack, to worry about your needs, or to wonder if you'll ever make it. No, you were created to thrive. The wealth that is on its way to you is not random. It is a direct result of your alignment with God's divine purpose for your life. The more you align your thoughts, your heart, and your actions with His will, the more you will see prosperity following you without effort. Prosperity will chase you down. It's a promise written in God's Word, and it is yours for the taking. As you continue to move forward with faith, trusting in His plan, the wealth, the abundance, and the success will come. And it will not just be for you, but for you to share, to build, and to expand the kingdom of God on earth. Now, chosen one, I want you to really listen to me here. If you're going to receive the wealth, the abundance, and the divine blessings that are on their way to you, you need to eliminate one thing from your life, and that is doubt. Doubt is a silent thief, a barrier that will block the very flow of blessings that God is trying to pour into your life. I need you to understand something very clearly. Doubt cannot coexist with faith. When you allow doubt to linger in your mind, you are essentially saying, God's promises may not be for me. But this could not be further from the truth. God's promises are not conditional upon your circumstances. They are not based on your past or your mistakes. They are guaranteed because God Himself spoke them. The moment you doubt, you start blocking the flow of abundance that is meant to come to you. God's promises are activated by faith, and it is faith that opens the door to your blessing. It is faith that turns your vision into reality. So, let me ask you, are you ready to receive? Are you ready to fully embrace the blessings that God has already set in motion for your life? Because right now, God is looking at your heart. He is looking to see if you truly believe that His promises are for you, if you truly believe that He will provide. And when you stop doubting and step into faith, you unlock everything that God has been preparing for you. Faith is the key to the flow of your abundance. I'm telling you this today. Banish doubt from your mind, from your heart, and from your thoughts. Don't entertain it any longer. God's Word is true. And His Word says that He will never leave you nor forsake you. His Word says that you are the head and not the tail, that you are blessed going in and blessed coming out. He has already made the way for you to walk in divine prosperity. When you choose to believe this with every fiber of your being, you will see God's promises begin to unfold in your life in ways you never imagined. Doors will open, opportunities will come, blessings will chase you down. The wealth you've been waiting for is already yours. It's just waiting for your faith to unlock it. And today, right now, you can make that choice. No more doubting, only belief, only trust. And as you embrace this faith, God will respond in a way that will amaze you. Let go of the fear. Let go of the uncertainty. God's plan for you is bigger than any doubt or worry you could ever have. His plan is bigger than your past. And He has already made a way for you to walk into the abundance that He has set aside for you. Believe that He is able. Believe that He will provide. And as you step into this faith, you will see His promises come to life like never before. No more delay. It's time for you to activate your blessing and step into your destiny. I want you to take a moment right now and think back. Think back to all the times that God has come through for you. Do you remember those moments when you felt like there was no way out, when everything seemed impossible, and yet, somehow, God made a way? Perhaps it was a time when you were facing financial struggles and out of nowhere, a breakthrough came. Or maybe it was a time when you were in need of healing and you experienced a miracle. Those moments, my friend, those were not coincidences. Those were divine moments of provision that only God could orchestrate. They were testimonies to His faithfulness. Now, I want you to remember something very important. Those moments were not just isolated incidents. Every single time God provided for you in the past, it was a sign that He will continue to provide, a sign that His provision is limitless and unending. What He did before, He will do again. And as you recall those moments, I want you to recognize that they are not just memories. They are the very foundation of your faith. Your past breakthroughs serve as proof of God's unchanging nature. He does not change. His promises remain. He is faithful, and what He has done once, He will do again and again and again. The more you meditate on this, the more your faith will be strengthened for the future. You will know that God is always faithful to come through, no matter what situation you may face today or in the future. The same God who provided for you before will continue to make a way for you. The more you meditate on this truth, the unshakable truth that God will always provide for you, the more it becomes the foundation upon which you can build your entire life. This foundation is unshakable because it is built on God's faithfulness, and faithfulness is a rock-solid foundation. When you stand on this truth, when you believe that God's provision is sure, you will no longer be moved by circumstances or by doubt. You will not be swayed by the winds of uncertainty or the storms that come your way. Instead, you will stand firm, knowing that the very one who created the heavens and the earth is the same one who will always provide for you. This foundation is not something that can be taken away or destroyed. It is unshakable because it is built on the faithfulness of a loving God. And when your life is built upon this truth, wealth, abundance, and divine provision will flow freely into your life. You are not dependent on the economy or the world system for your prosperity. You are dependent on God, who is the source of all abundance. And when you align your life with His will, His provision will follow you. Nothing can stop what God has destined for you. So build your life on this unshakable foundation. Stand firm, knowing that His abundance will flow freely into your life as you trust Him fully. When you come to fully understand that God is your provider, something profound happens deep within you. It's as though a shift occurs in your very spirit, and you begin to walk with a sense of divine confidence that is unshakable, unwavering. This is a confidence that doesn't come from your own abilities, your own strength, or your own resources, but from knowing that the Creator of the universe, the one who holds all things in His hands, has promised to provide for you, and He always keeps His promises. Imagine, for a moment, what it feels like to know that you are not walking through life alone. You no longer live in fear of what tomorrow may bring, because you know that the one who created the heavens and the earth is on your side. You no longer worry about the uncertainties of the future, because you have a divine assurance that God will meet every need in your life, according to His riches and glory. This assurance transforms the way you see your world. It replaces anxiety with peace and replaces fear with faith. You can face each day with a calm, peaceful heart, knowing that no matter what comes your way, you are provided for by the Creator Himself. This is the confidence that comes from walking in alignment with God's will for your life. It's a confidence that says, I don't have to worry about how things will work out. I don't have to stress over my finances, my health, or my future, because I know that God's provision is certain, and I am in His hands. You begin to approach each day with faith in the promises of God, trusting that His abundance will be with you in every step you take. The confidence you have in God as your provider isn't just something you talk about. It becomes the way you live. It becomes your way of being. You walk into each situation with the knowledge that God is already there, providing for you, and that nothing is impossible for Him. You begin to move through life not as someone who is constantly worried about where the next blessing will come from, but as someone who is overflowing with confidence in God's unwavering faithfulness. This divine confidence is unshakable because it is built on the rock-solid truth that God's promises never fail. This kind of confidence I'm talking about isn't a product of wishful thinking or blind optimism. No, this confidence is rooted deeply in experience. Your experience with God's faithfulness, and it's firmly grounded in the promises that He has made to you. You've seen God move in your life before. You've witnessed firsthand how He provided for you, when it seemed like there was no way forward. You've experienced His miraculous hand when you were stuck in situations that seemed impossible. Those moments were not coincidences, my friend. They were divine interventions. They were God showing you that He is your provider and that He has never and will never fail you. When you look back at your past, do you remember those times when you were struggling? And yet somehow, some way, God opened doors that you never could have opened on your own. When you were uncertain about the future, but then, out of nowhere, opportunities came that you didn't even expect. That is the hand of God at work in your life, showing you that His promises are true and reliable. And that same God who has been faithful in the past is the same God who is with you today and will continue to provide for you in the future. Those past moments of provision stand as reminders, constant reminders that God's faithfulness is unchanging. When you remember how He came through for you before, your confidence grows. It becomes easier to trust Him now, knowing that the same God who provided for you in the past is the same God who will never leave you nor forsake you. His promises are not just words, they are guarantees, and He will continue to provide for you, no matter what. Living in this divine confidence transforms every aspect of your life. It changes the way you walk, the way you talk, and even the way you think. You no longer move through life with a sense of hesitation or fear, wondering how things will work out. No, when you are confident in God's provision, you walk boldly. You step forward into every challenge, knowing that God has already made a way for you. Your mindset shifts. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities for God to show His glory. This divine confidence enables you to live fearlessly. No longer do you fear that your needs won't be met or that you'll be left behind. Instead, you trust that God is already ahead of you, preparing the way and providing for every need long before you even recognize it. When you live with this confidence, you start to see that the blessings begin to flow effortlessly into your life. It's as though God is opening the floodgates of heaven, pouring out blessings in ways you never expected, and meeting your needs even before you ask. You don't have to strive or force things to happen anymore. When you live confidently, trusting in God's provision, things will flow into your life effortlessly, as though God's hand is always guiding you, always providing exactly what you need and more. His blessings will manifest in ways that feel supernatural, like doors opening before you even knock and solutions appearing when you least expect them. That is the power of living in divine confidence. This kind of confidence isn't just about having a positive attitude or wishing for the best. It's about knowing deep in your soul that God has already made provision for everything you need, and He will continue to meet you in every area of your life. And as you walk forward with that assurance, you will see His blessings overflow in ways that you've never imagined before. As you step into the prosperity that God has ordained for your life, know this: there will be those who question, doubt, and even mock you. They will scrutinize your journey and try to undermine your success. They will look at the blessings in your life and wonder how you got there. Some may even try to belittle you, as though your achievements are not worthy of celebration. But let me tell you this: it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they criticize or how they try to diminish the extraordinary things that God is doing in your life. God's plan for you is far greater than any opinion that comes from the mouths of men. When you start walking in divine abundance, it's easy for others to feel threatened or envious. They may question your success, assuming that it's just a stroke of luck or that somehow you don't deserve it. But here's the truth you need to hold on to. Your wealth is not meant to impress anyone. It's not about showing off or proving anything to anyone. Your abundance is about fulfilling the divine purpose that God has set before you. Your success is not for your glory, but for His. It is a testimony to the world that God's promises are true, and that when you walk in alignment with His will, blessings follow you, without effort, without struggle. When people mock you or question how you've gotten to where you are, remember this. God's plan for your life cannot be limited by human understanding or opinions. They might not see what you've been through or the struggles you've overcome to get here. They don't know the journey of faith, prayer, and trust that you've walked. They don't know the deep conversations you've had with God, the moments of doubt that you've had to overcome, or the dreams that have been burning in your heart. But God sees all of that, and He is the one who has called you into this time of prosperity. Your wealth is not a reflection of your worth to others. It is a manifestation of God's goodness in your life. It is a sign of His favor, His provision, and His faithfulness. And as you walk in that abundance, you can hold your head up high, knowing that what God has promised, He will bring to pass. It's important to remember that when God blesses you, no one can curse you. People can mock, they can question, and they can talk behind your back, but none of that matters. Their words have no power over the blessings that God is pouring into your life. In fact, their mockery will only serve to elevate God's name even higher as they witness the manifestation of His goodness in your life. Their doubt cannot stop the floodgates of heaven from opening in your favor. God has a unique calling for you, and your wealth is a part of that calling. It is not for show or for mere accumulation. It is for purpose. It's meant to fund the work that God has called you to do, to fulfill the divine mission He has entrusted to you. Your wealth is a tool in His hands to bring about great things in His kingdom and in the world. Whether it's supporting ministries, helping others in need, or creating something that impacts lives, your abundance will be a vehicle for fulfilling your higher calling. So when others mock or doubt your success, rise above. Do not be discouraged or disheartened by the opinions of others. Your journey is not defined by their approval or disapproval. Your journey is defined by the one who has called you, and His approval is the only one that matters. God has chosen you for greatness, and no one can take that away from you. Embrace your divine prosperity with boldness, knowing that it is part of the greater plan that God has set for you. And as you do, you will see that the abundance that flows into your life will speak for itself, silencing any opposition and proving that when God blesses you, no one can curse you. I need you to hear this clearly today. Their doubt is not your concern. The opinions of others will never determine the course of your life or the abundance that God has prepared for you. People will talk. They will question your success. They will wonder how you got here, and they will try to put their limitations on your life. But you cannot allow their doubt to become your reality. Your focus must be entirely on what God has said about you and what He has promised you. God has already spoken over your life, and His promises are not subject to human opinions or the limitations of this world. When God blesses you, no one can curse you. That is a truth you can stand on, unwavering and unshakable. The very moment God begins to pour His abundance into your life, it's a sign of His faithfulness, and nothing and no one can reverse that blessing. Don't waste your energy on people who try to sow seeds of doubt in your heart. They don't understand the fullness of what God has in store for you. They don't see the bigger picture, and they don't know the depths of the plans that God has for your life. Their doubt is not your concern. Your concern, your focus, must be on the promises of God. What He says is what matters, and He has promised you prosperity. The enemy will try to distract you. People will try to discourage you, but none of that can touch the divine plan that is unfolding in your life. Your success is a testimony to God's goodness. It is a visible, undeniable reflection of His grace and His favor upon you. Let your journey be a light for others, showing them that with God, all things are possible. As you move forward into your divine prosperity, do not let the opinions of others cause you to second-guess yourself. You are walking in the purpose that God has set before you, and that purpose is not dependent on the approval or judgment of others. You have a divine right to the abundance that God has promised you, and no one can take that away from you. Stand firm in your purpose, trust in God's plan, and let His blessings flow freely through your life. You need to remember this. What God has for you is not subject to human opinion. His will for your life is not contingent upon what anyone thinks. When God opens a door, no man, no matter their power or influence, can close it. The success and wealth that you are walking into are a clear reflection of God's faithfulness to His promises. And guess what? Your wealth, your success, your divine abundance will speak louder than any words of opposition, any mockery, or any doubters. It will stand as a testament to the goodness and power of God. So, I'm here to tell you, rise above the noise. You will hear people talk, and you will feel the pressure from those who don't understand your journey. But remember, their words hold no power over your future. What God has promised you is a done deal. It is set in stone, and nothing can undo it. As you continue to walk in your divine purpose, as you step deeper into the abundance He has for you, those who doubted you will be silenced by the weight of the blessings you are receiving. It's time for you to walk in boldness, knowing that your wealth and success are not just for you. They are a reflection of God's faithfulness. Your prosperity is a public declaration of His ability to provide, to bless, and to uplift His children. Let your abundance be the evidence that God is working in your life. Let it be a reminder to others that when you trust God and follow His plan, He will bless you in ways beyond measure. So, don't let the noise of the world distract you. Keep your eyes fixed on the vision that God has placed before you, and let His promise of prosperity guide every step you take. As you rise above the noise, your blessings will speak for themselves, and those who doubted will see that God's plan for your life is unstoppable. Keep walking in that confidence, knowing that your divine prosperity is not just for you, but for the glory of God's name. I need you to hear this today. Chosen one, divine prosperity is not something you have to chase after or strive for. It's not about running around trying to make it happen through your own strength or pushing yourself to the breaking point. No, divine prosperity flows naturally when you walk in alignment with God's will. It's not about forcing it into your life, and it's not about working harder than what He has called you to do. When you align your heart, your actions, and your trust with God's purpose, prosperity begins to flow effortlessly. So many people fall into the trap of believing they need to work themselves into exhaustion in order to be successful. The world will tell you that you must grind endlessly, that success requires relentless effort at the expense of your well-being. But God's way is different. God's divine prosperity isn't a result of endless striving. It's a result of faith, trust, and obedience. When you trust God with all your heart, when you obey His leading, and when you rest in His provision, you will experience a prosperity that is unstoppable and uncontainable. This kind of prosperity doesn't require constant hustle. It requires surrender. It requires understanding that the Creator of the universe is not a distant being who has left you to figure it all out on your own. No, He is closer than you think, and His plan for you is one of abundance, not scarcity. God has already mapped out your path to wealth and success, and He is making the way for you to walk in it. The only thing you need to do is align yourself with His divine will, and everything you need will follow. It's time to let go of the lie that prosperity only comes through hard work and exhaustion. Yes, there is value in being diligent, in putting in effort, but that effort should come from a place of rest and trust in God. God does not want you to wear yourself thin in the pursuit of wealth. Instead, He wants you to walk in His perfect peace, knowing that as you trust in Him, all the resources you need will be provided at the right time. Let me say this again. You don't have to force divine prosperity into your life. It's already yours. It has already been promised. When you surrender your plans to God and walk in alignment with His purpose, His blessings will chase you down. You won't have to chase after prosperity. Prosperity will chase after you. This is the kind of flow that cannot be stopped because it's divine. It's not bound by the limitations of this world or by your own human effort. It is powered by the infinite, unchanging provision of God. As you begin to step into this truth, something will shift in your spirit. You will feel a peace that surpasses all understanding. The pressure will lift. You will no longer feel the weight of having to prove yourself or make it happen on your own. You will simply rest in the assurance that God has already provided. When you trust Him completely, you will see how effortlessly prosperity begins to flow into every area of your life. Whether it's in your finances, relationships, health, or your divine purpose. The abundance of God will surround you like a river, and you will be able to swim in the overflow. The more you align your heart with God's plans for you, the more you will experience the unstoppable flow of divine prosperity. It's not about chasing it down. It's about resting in the truth that it's already on its way to you. God's provision will come. It will sustain you, and it will elevate you in ways you never thought possible. All you have to do is trust, obey, and rest. The flow of prosperity is unstoppable when you are walking in alignment with God's will. Let go of the stress and let God's divine provision flow into your life today. Let's take a moment to reflect on something powerful, the peace that comes with knowing that God will provide for you. This peace is unlike any peace the world can offer. When you are fully confident that God has already planned everything for you, a sense of calm washes over you. You don't have to chase after resources. You don't have to worry about how you'll make ends meet, because you understand deep within your spirit that God has already made provision. This peace isn't based on the external circumstances or the ever-changing world around you. No, it is a peace that surpasses understanding. The kind of peace that only comes from knowing that the Creator of the universe is your provider, and that He has already made a way for you. You no longer have to carry the burden of fear or anxiety about your finances or your future. You are free to live fully and abundantly because you know that everything you need will be provided in perfect timing. Now, let's talk about the unstoppable flow of divine prosperity. This isn't just a one-time event. This is a continuous, perpetual flow. The moment you align yourself with God's will, the blessings begin to pour in. Not just once, but continually, in ever-increasing abundance. The divine flow of prosperity is not a short-lived experience, but a lifelong river of blessings that will never run dry. And here's the best part. This divine provision is everlasting. It's not temporary, it's eternal. This isn't just a season of abundance, but a permanent state of being. You won't experience highs and lows of prosperity. Instead, you'll experience a steady, consistent flow that sustains you through every season of your life. God's provision doesn't have an expiration date. It's everlasting. This flow of prosperity isn't dependent on the economy or the world systems. It isn't tied to temporary circumstances. No, this prosperity is tied to God's promises, and His promises never fail. As long as you stay in alignment with His will, this flow of blessings will continue to pour into your life without interruption. It's unstoppable, unshakable, and uncontainable. Imagine living a life where prosperity is not something you have to chase after. It's something that naturally follows you. You're not striving or working to make it happen. Instead, you're walking in the abundant flow that God has already set in motion for you. This is the life of divine prosperity that God wants you to experience. It's a life that overflows with blessings, a life that reflects God's goodness and faithfulness at every turn. As you step into the abundance that God has promised you, there's something crucial you must understand. With great wealth comes great responsibility. This wealth, this prosperity that is overflowing into your life, is not simply for your personal enjoyment. It is a divine tool, a powerful instrument that will enable you to fulfill your God-given purpose here on earth. God has blessed you with this wealth, not just to live a comfortable life, but to impact the lives of others, to be a beacon of His goodness in the world. You are now in a position to make an incredible difference, to change lives, to build communities, and to leave a legacy that will echo through the generations. The abundance that you are experiencing is part of a larger, divine plan. It is meant to empower you to do great things for the kingdom of God and to further His purposes on this earth. When you understand that wealth is a tool for service, it shifts your perspective completely. No longer do you see money as just a means to buy things or live in comfort. You see it as a tool to impact lives, to feed the hungry, to build hospitals, to support missionaries who are taking the gospel to the ends of the earth. Your wealth is a tool to bring transformation to the world around you. It's a tool to bring healing, hope, and restoration where there is poverty, despair, and brokenness. Your wealth has the power to set others free, to break the chains of poverty, and to bring healing where there has been brokenness. As you embrace the responsibility that comes with your prosperity, you are walking in the fullness of God's plan for your life. You are living a life that not only enjoys the blessings of heaven, but also shares those blessings with the world around you. As you walk in the abundance that God has promised you, always remember, you are not just receiving this wealth for your own benefit. You are called to be a vessel of divine prosperity, a conduit for God's blessings to flow through and impact the world. With great wealth comes great responsibility, and you are destined to fulfill a purpose far greater than you can imagine. Embrace your divine purpose, and let your wealth be a tool for change. You are chosen, and your prosperity is not just for today, but for generations to come. Your life is a living testimony of God's faithfulness, and His blessings are a reflection of His eternal love and provision. Now is the time to rise in divine confidence, to walk boldly into your abundance, knowing that God has already paved the way. As you align yourself with His purpose, expect to see miracles unfold, dreams come to life, and wealth flow into your life effortlessly. You are walking in the fullness of God's promise, an abundant, prosperous, and purpose-filled life. So stand tall, walk in confidence, and let your wealth be a reflection of God's glory in your life. The best is yet to come. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep walking in your divine destiny. God has great things in store for you. Let the flow of prosperity continue to pour into your life, and may you use it to bless others and fulfill your divine assignment here on earth. Your wealth is not just for you, it's for the world. Go forward and let your life shine as a beacon of divine prosperity.